All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Consciousness Express podcast. I'm super grateful to be here. This has been in the works for a while, so to be sitting here in front of you guys, what a gift, what a blessing to, truly be able to do this, to be able to share my wisdom, share my consciousness with you guys, and with the intention to expand your life, expand your relationships, help you grow, help you see new possibilities, and to truly step into the gift that you truly be and create yourself a phenomenal life. So thank you for being here, listening to me, or watching me. And yeah, so keen. So welcome to episode 1, Consciousness Express. Today is going to be on how to stay true to yourself, so choosing you and what that is and what that looks like, and gifting you guys some tools and new perspectives to take home and play with and reflect on and implement and integrate into your everyday in order to start to truly choose for you and put yourself first in the creation of your life, because a lot of us don't. A lot of us put everybody else first and then us. And what happens is a lot of us tend to make sure everybody else is happy first. Okay, as long as everybody else is happy, then I'm happy, because I can't be happy unless everybody else is happy. And so because of that, I need to make sure I'm choosing for them first, not me. And then what happens over time is we're constantly putting everybody else first, their needs first, that we never end up choosing for us. And then, so we never learn how to do it. And then, so when it's ever a chance to choose for us, it's too uncomfortable, it's too unknown, it's too vulnerable, and we feel too lost. We feel like we don't know who we are, we don't know how to do it. It's too hard. And it's easier just to continue choosing for other people and to make other people happy, because we've never given ourselves the chance to actually go on our journey of choosing for us and what's true for us. And so today, whether you are listening to this or watching this and you're already on your journey of choosing you and you want to learn some new tools to enhance that and expand that, and or maybe you're someone that's new to this and hasn't been choosing for yourself and want to learn how to, and you're sort of like, oh, I've been choosing for everybody else and I really don't want to do that anymore because it's not working for me, then no matter where you're at, welcome. And I want to really shift a lot for you guys, as much as I can in this short amount of time anyways, to get you truly choosing for you and what's true for you. And what's choosing for you is choosing what works for you, and that doesn't involve judgment. There's no right or wrong to it, there's no good or bad, there's no positive or negative. It's what works for you, which is what lights you up, what makes your body feel good, what expands your life, what expands your money flows, what expands your relationships. It's what contributes to you, your body, the growth of your being, your life, and the planet. And so choosing for us is always a contribution. It's always a kindness. And when we choose for us, it contributes to everybody else and everything else. And it's not linear, it's not cognitive how that works. And it's just that because we're choosing for us, we're choosing what's true for us, we're honoring us, we're valuing ourselves, we're loving ourselves. That energy is contributive. That energy is expansive, and that energy, when we choose it, ripples out to the world, contributes to those around us, contributes to those we're choosing with, contributes to the world. And that truly is a gift, and every one of you is a gift. You're a unique gift with unique capacities, with a unique brilliance to gift to the world. And that's the beauty of you. That's the beauty of your difference, that you are different. And we have to step into our difference. And you've got to be willing to choose for you no matter how different that makes you. Because you are different, and it's not wrong. We're not here to all be the same. We're here to go on our self-discovery journey of who we are and what we're being here and what we have to gift here. And when we're in that space, it's in oneness. There's no duality. So it's no, I'm a separate self from everybody else. It's no, I'm one with everything. And when I'm truly choosing for me, I know that choice is inclusive of everyone and everything else. When we choose against ourselves, that's a different story. That's when we start to destroy the possibilities of our lives. That's when we start to destroy the possibilities of other people's lives and the planet. And choosing against you looks like, a way to know when you've chosen against yourself is like when you choose something and then afterwards you feel heavy, you feel like an icky feeling, doesn't feel good. You've chosen against yourself. And we do it in so many ways, shapes and forms on a daily basis. As simple as you have these practices, these daily practices that you like to do, because you know when you do them, you feel good. It helps your mental health, it helps your body, and potentially you've got the awareness that, for example, sugar or alcohol right now isn't serving you. It's not working for you. It's making you feel worse. It's affecting your emotions. It's affecting your energy levels. It's affecting your relationships maybe. And you go, I don't want to do that anymore because I can truly see the tangible effects of what this choice is creating in my life. And I don't want to choose that anymore. I want to become greater. I want to choose something different for myself to feel better, create myself a greater life, and then you still turn to the bottle. You still turn to the lollies and make yourself feel crap. That's choosing against ourselves as a small example, because those sort of food and drink things are like examples that we do every day. Or maybe it's like you said you were going to do something for yourself, then you did the complete opposite and sabotage what you're creating. That's choosing against ourselves. It's when you choose unconsciousness and anti-consciousness, which then creates more of that in your life. So today I want to give you some tools to help you on your journey of staying true to you and choosing what's true for you and choosing for you, and look at some of the ways that really affect us on that journey. Some of which are people pleasing, fitting in, whether that's fitting in with your relationship, fitting in with your family, with your friends, with this reality, having a belief that it's wrong to choose for you, it's selfish to choose for you. An example that could be, you have a friend that always asks you to drive them everywhere. And when you drive them everywhere, when you say yes and drive them everywhere, they're the happiest friend ever. They give you so much energy, they're so loving to you, and they love it. And then a day comes where you have to do this other thing. You've got something important on, and they wanted a lift, and you said yes, or potentially you've said yes, or they've asked you and you've got this thing on and you go, hey, I actually can't drive you, sorry, I need to choose this thing, it's really important for me. And then they make you wrong for that choice. And any time that you say no to driving them somewhere, they turn on you. You know, you're the bad person. You're wrong because you can't drive them. And then what can happen, and this can happen in childhood too from our parents when we get made wrong for choosing things, is they're getting upset and we think that's our fault. And so we look at, I'm choosing for me and that's upsetting them. So that must be wrong because they're upset because of my choice. So I shouldn't choose for me because it's upsetting people. And then if that continually happens, and then we create that belief that, when I choose for me, other people get upset. So I don't want to do that anymore because I don't want people upset. I want people to be happy and okay with me. And then we create this belief that it's actually wrong to choose for us. And so then we never choose for us because we don't want to be wrong, we want to be right. And what's right is choosing for other people. And so, you know, if you have got someone in your life that is emotionally manipulating like that, then you also have to look at, is that someone I want to have in my life, and is choosing for me potentially leaving that relationship, that friendship. That's another topic for another day. But yeah, whatever it is, what is it for you that is preventing you from choosing you? AKA, what are you using as a way to truly never choose you? And I'm gonna ask questions today, and I want you guys to reflect on the questions. You can write them down, reflect on them, because a big part of this too is we have to acknowledge where we are choosing unconsciousness, where we are choosing to avoid ourselves, where we are choosing to people please, to fit in, and so that we can become aware of it. Because when we can acknowledge it and become aware of it, then we can change it. But if we're not willing to acknowledge it and look at it, we can't change it. And so how much of your life, how many things in your life are you unwilling to look at that is creating the misery that is showing up, that you say you would like to change? So, yeah, something to journal about and reflect on, to take home to start this journey of choosing you and to dive deeper into it, is bring awareness into where you are people pleasing, where you are fitting in, whether that is with your partner or in your friendships or your family or your culture or what everyone else in society is doing, where you're unwilling to disturb the peace, where you walk around on eggshells, you're unwilling to trigger people, and look at what points of views do you have on what it means to choose you, and reflect on it. And then look at what different choice is available to you. What's a question you can use? What's a different choice here? Because the different choice is what's going to outcreate what you've been choosing. And so we have to be in question. Because the journey of choosing you, the journey of choosing what is true for you, is a daily adventure. Your truth will change. You're always changing, energy is always changing, your truth will change. You know, look back at your life of when there's been times where you once believed something to be true at one stage in your life, and now you're like, you realize that wasn't true at all. Or maybe it was true for this part of your life, but now in this part of your life, it's not a truth anymore. Your truth will change. And so don't conclude your truths. We have to be in question with them so we can be present with them to see if they're still working for us or not. Not go, this is working for me, cool, this is going to work forever, because then we do limit ourselves because we never look at it again. And then in the background, it's creating limitations. So asking questions, like I said, what's a different choice here? Reflect on it all, look at it. Okay, I'm people pleasing with this person. because they get really mad at me because of this, whatever it is, write it all down, reflect on it, where you're trying to fit in, where you're not willing to disturb the peace, your points of views, and start to ask questions. Okay, what's a different choice here? What's it going to take to create this? If I was choosing for me today, what would I choose? The universe. In order to play with the universe, we have to ask questions. The universe is begging us to ask questions. It wants to play with us. It wants to contribute to us. When we ask a question, it opens up doors of possibilities to receive more awareness, to then choose and create more and receive more. But what tends to happen is a lot of us function from conclusion, and conclusions are a dead end. Questions open up the doors to infinite possibilities. So, yeah, be willing to trigger people. It's not saying you're going to do it on purpose, but what happens is when we choose for us, it tends to trigger a lot of people around us because it's showing to them where they're not choosing them and where they're locked up in their conclusions and judgments and definitions and stories. And then it brings up energy in them, makes them uncomfortable, and they don't want that, and it triggers them. And then generally they try and control us or manipulate us or judge us so that we don't change or choose different. And when we're trying to fit in too, when we've decided that it's right to fit in, because what happens when we fit in is we're an infinite being, and then in order to fit in to something, into someone's reality, we have to make ourselves finite because we're fitting into something. Think about it. And so what tends to happen is a lot of people have friends and relationships that we make so significant and so valuable, and we need them in that relationship because we think we're lacking something in our own being, and then we make it right to fit in with them. And so they have their reality, and we decide somewhere that we need to fit in with their reality so that they'll accept us and have us as a friend or a partner or whatever. And so then we have to cut parts of ourselves off, diminish parts of ourselves, and not be parts of ourselves, because we can't be all of us, because then they won't like that, and we won't then fit into their reality, and it's more valuable to fit into their reality than it is to be us. So I'll just cut this part of myself off and never be that again, so I can fit in and feel right and I belong. And then what happens is one day we're like, actually, this isn't working for me because I'm starting to lose myself. I don't know who I am. I feel like crap. I really want to start feeling better and choosing me. And then you start choosing to become greater and be different, and they don't like that because then it doesn't fit in with the definitions of their reality because you're becoming undefinable. And so what they'll do is they'll try and control you, judge you, so that you don't go and be you. Don't go and be your brilliance. You stay small so that they can have you in their reality, and their reality can be controlled, and there's no change happening. And we have to bringing this up so you can be aware of where there is relationships in your life where you are fitting in with someone and then keeping the peace so that it doesn't disturb their reality because it's right to fit into their reality. We have to go beyond that. We have to choose to be different, because then that's going to be an invitation for them to be different if they choose it or not. Doesn't matter. We have to be willing to be the difference so that we can open up different spaces of possibilities for other people that are looking for different. Because when we choose to be different, and when we choose to be us and live from our truth and express ourselves authentically, that opens up spaces for other people to see that as a possibility that potentially hadn't seen it before or had always thought it was a possibility but we're still seeking it. And then you come along and be that possibility, and then they go, oh my gosh, Jimmy over there is expressing himself, looks so happy, choosing him, his life's getting greater. I thought you had to choose for everybody else and put everybody else first, not yourself. Wow. And what you've done is you've opened up a possibility. Whether they choose it or not, it doesn't matter. You're opening up the space for other people to see it as a possibility, that potentially in these examples that people are stuck in the fitting in or the people pleasing or that it's wrong to choose for them. You're opening up a different possibility for them to see something different. So that's the power of choosing for you and what gift that is to the world. And yeah, because it truly is a contribution to the world when you choose for you. And it's not linear, it's not cognitive, it doesn't need to make sense to the mind. And you have to be willing to be different and to be judged and to be not understood. Because you as a being are undefinable. No one can fully ever understand you. They can't. It's just not possible because you're you. No, how can anybody possibly ever fully understand you? They might be able to understand parts of you, but no one can understand you in totality, and that's not wrong. That's because you're different, and that's a gift. We have to give up that need for other people to understand us. Otherwise, we're going to try and it's like when we need to be understood, we need our points of views to align with their points of views, and then we create this limiting entanglement with them that then it's like we can't be us unless we're understood by somebody else, and then there is like a validation. And yeah, it's probably another topic to talk about, but it's like give up that need to be understood, because otherwise you're going to try and create a connection point with somebody else in order to be understood, and then you're going to have to go into their reality in order to make them understand you. But when we do that, when we go into someone else's reality in order to get them to understand us, we pull in parts of their reality into our reality that then creates energetic limitations in our realities, because we're pulling in things from their reality that's not our reality, and then in order to be understood, which then turns this infinite possibility into a finite possibility and doesn't truly serve us. And yeah, thanks for coming along with me at a little tangent, guys. So yeah, because it's your difference doesn't create the problem. It's you choosing against you that does. I'm going to repeat that again. Your difference doesn't create the problem. It's you choosing against you that does. So anytime you choose to fit in, to people please, that's choosing against you. When we can step into the space of us, we can truly see the contribution and possibility we can be in every moment to everybody else, and what they require, and what we can gift to them in that moment to assist them in whatever way, shape or form we can. So I'm going to give you a tool to help you guys, and this is a tool of access consciousness, which is the light and heavy tool. So what's true for you feels light, what's a lie feels heavy. And this doesn't require the mind. This is an energetic tool. So we have to start to step more into the energetics of things. So when something feels light, it's a truth for you. When something feels heavy, it's a lie. You know, how many times, think of like when somebody's talking to you and they're like blah, 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 and then it starts to feel heavy. And you're like, why is what they're saying feel heavy? Because for you and your reality, it's a lie. And then how we can use this tool with choosing for us and what's true for us is go, okay, does this feel light or does this feel heavy? When we have choices, does this feel light or does this feel heavy? And the lightness is spacious, it's expansive. The heaviness is contractive and it's heavy. It's a tightness in the body, When we choose what's true for us, when we choose what's light for us, that lightness creates more lightness to show up. And that can be our internal compass for where we're going. We don't have to go through the heavy to get to the lightness. Because a lot of us think that if we get through the heavy, then we can finally get to the lightness. And what tends to happen is we just create more heaviness. It doesn't actually have to be the way to go, because everyone else is choosing that way. So, yeah, using that tool is asking when you have choices. Okay, does this feel light or does this feel heavy? And it's not going to the mind, because when we go into the mind, then a lot of the times we have a predetermined reality running, and then we go, yeah, it feels light because this is actually the predetermined reality that I want to happen anyways. So we bypass the energies and we go to our predetermined reality of what we actually want to happen, rather than what is the energy and what are we required to choose. Because a lot of the time when we follow the energy, it's not going to look like the way we think in our mind. It's going to be like, oh, I've got to go choose this. It makes no sense, but that's what feels light and expansive, and that's what my awareness is telling me. And then you choose that, and it opens up all these other doors of possibilities to create what we wanted to create in an even greater way. And it's that meandering path of getting to where we want to go. But it's that journey, it's that adventure. Like we are an adventure. Our lives are an adventure, and asking who am I today and what grand and glorious adventure am I going to have? When it's go on the adventure of you. This journey of choosing for you is an adventure. Live life as an adventure, guys. Ask questions. Look at where you're avoiding choosing you in the creation of your life. Whether you do think it's too hard to choose for you, whether you think you're wrong for choosing you, because you don't want to you have a fear of triggering other people, because you don't know, it's too hard, you don't know how. Look at that. Look at where am I unwilling to choose me? What are my reasons and justifications for not choosing me? Any reason and justification you have for not choosing you? Any reason and justification you have for anything is your need to be right for what you're choosing. And so, if you didn't need to be right for what you're choosing, how much more ease could you have with choosing, and how much could you just choose without needing to validate it? Yeah, because when we do the fitting in the people pleasing, we eliminate us from the equation. We take us out of the equation and we don't ever choose for us. And then what happens over time is we start to feel like we've lost us. I'm like, who am I anymore? I don't know who I am. Especially in romantic relationships, a lot of people give themselves up in relationship. They get into a relationship, it's so shiny and nice, and it's like, oh, I love this person, blah, blah, blah. And you used to do dance class, or you had a hobby that you used to love doing before the relationship, and when you got together at the start, you would always talk about the hobby, and then you got into the relationship, and then along the line you decided that, oh, I love them, and because I love them, I'll stop doing the thing I love doing because I want to spend more time with them. And so then you start choosing them in the relationship over you. And then that actually simultaneously destroys a relationship. What creates a strong, healthy relationship is when you choose for you, they choose for them, and you come together and choose each other. But a lot of people lose themselves in a relationship, and they get out of a relationship, and there's a breakup finally happens, and like, I don't even know who I am anymore, I feel so lost. Who am I? And then they have to rediscover themselves again. What if we didn't have to do that? What if we got into a relationship and continued choosing for us? Because again, when we choose for us in a relationship, that contributes to the relationship. It's like when you go and do your hobby that you love doing, that lights you up, that makes you so happy, that gives you that energy. You come back filled with that energy to the relationship, ready to pour in. You're like, I feel so good inside. I want to love you more. I'm so, present, so loving. But then when you don't choose those things for you anymore and you choose a relationship instead, you don't get that contribution that thing would have given you to then have contributed to the relationship. And then you start to build resentment. The relationship starts to decline. You start to feel lost. And we have to continue to choose those things. And a big reflection of, like, relationships give us a big reflection of where we're not choosing us as well, which is truly a gift of intimate relationships, of where they just shine a light on everything, love seeping in and showing us everywhere where we're not choosing love and we're not choosing ourselves. And it's a gift to go, oh, I'm not choosing myself in this area, cool, what's it going to take to choose for me? And this might tie in with self-worth. You might not have much self-worth, and so you're choosing a relationship that actually isn't good for you because you don't feel worthy of a good relationship. You don't have enough self-worth to feel that what you could be choosing is actually aligned. I don't deserve that. I can't have a healthy love. Or I'm not worthy of a good job. I'm not worthy of a great life. I'm not worthy of money because of something that happened in my childhood or whatever. So if that's the case, then we've got to do some self-worth work, whether it's inner child stuff, start to do some inner child work, go to therapy, journal, get an access bars session and clear out some of the limiting points of views in your brain, thoughts, feelings and emotions, subconscious beliefs, do some affirmations, I am worthy of a healthy love, I am worthy of a beautiful life, trusting yourself, trusting that as uncomfortable it is, as vulnerable as it can be to choose for you, that you honor that and you trust that, no, I know that if I choose for me, it's going to contribute, it's going to create something greater for me, even if in this moment I can't see it, because there's a lot of hurt, there's a lot of limitations that are there, but I'm going to trust me. This is a journey of trusting you and committing to you, because how committed are you to you? How committed are you to the creation of your life? If you're not committed to you, then you'll have every reason and justification to not go and create your life, to choose you. Asking, if I truly valued me, if I truly honored me, if I truly loved me, would I choose this person or this thing? How many of you ask a question before you choose something, rather than you just go choose it based off your past reference points and conclusions and judgments and definitions of your life and your story and what your life's supposed to be like and all that sort of stuff? How many of you actually ask a question before you choose something to perceive the energy of it, to see what the energy is telling you right now? So you can use this as a, if I truly valued me, because when we truly value us, honor ourselves and love us, that's a different space to function from. That is a contributive energy that ripples out to the world. And so when we function from that space, we're just contributing to ourselves. And when we start to feel better internally, we can start to give our deepest gifts to the world more generously. Yeah, because it's truly, what's it going to take to choose for you and put yourself first? It's not selfish. It's not wrong. Because then you can truly be the contribution that you can be to the world and to your partner and to your family and to your friends and to your job and to whoever else and whatever else. When you're filling your cup. And by the way, your cup doesn't get filled. As you choose for you and your cup fills, your cup expands. It can't actually be full. Otherwise you're creating a limitation. Just want to share that. So, yeah, what are you capable of that you're refusing to acknowledge, that if you did acknowledge, would allow you to create a greater life and living? What's it going to take to truly choose for you? Go on that adventure. So thanks for coming along on today's journey, guys. The takeaways is the light and heavy tool. Does this feel light? Does this feel heavy? What's light for you is true. What's heavy is a lie. Bring awareness into people pleasing, where you're people pleasing, fitting in, unwilling to disturb the peace. You walk around on eggshells. You're unwilling to trigger the people around you. What your points of views are, or what it means to choose for you. Write them down, reflect, look at what's a different choice. How can I create this? What else can I choose? What else is possible beyond this? You know, if I was choosing for me today, what would I choose? What would I like to choose? Who would I like to be today? Is this true for me? Yes or no? Will this contribute to me? Infinite questions. And yeah, starting that journey. If you're on the journey, I hope this was able to contribute to helping you to keep going on your journey. If you're at the start of your journey on this, then go you showing up. And it truly is just showing up for yourself every day, however that is. It's not how you show up, it's that you show up. 'Cause some days, we're not going to want to show up. So just getting out of bed is the showing up. Like, get out of bed. Do one thing to show up, just show up for yourself, however that is. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't need to judge yourself. Because some days we're going to be on top of the world. Other days, it's going to be a struggle to get out of bed. It's totally fine. It's no wrong. It's not wrong. Yeah. And don't settle for anything less than the phenomenal life you know you can have. Because we have this body, we have this life. Let's live it. Let's truly embrace it and honor it and experience it and just have fun and choose us and watch our lives get greater and greater and greater and greater and greater. Yeah. So thank you for listening. Wherever you're listening to this on or watching this, please like and subscribe, give it a review, share it with people that you think need to hear this. Let's get this consciousness out there. Let's get these tools out there to people to help them change their lives, have more ease with their lives, create themselves a phenomenal life. I'm grateful for you here, and yeah, bring on 2025. Let's go. Thank you.